The new Aqua Efficiency Series promises fast filtration, mineral-rich water, and even UV sterilization, all with a sleek, tankless under-sink design. But does it actually deliver? We ran the system through a full performance review, including third-party lab testing, to find out how well it removes contaminants, how fast it filters, and how easy it is to live with day to day. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know before buying, including setup, maintenance, filtration speed, long-term value, and of course our lab results, including a few unexpected results that showed up in the post-filtration water that you'll want to know about. The new Aqua Efficiency Series is available in two flow rate options, 600 or 800 gallons per day. You can also upgrade either model with an alkaline remineralization filter, a UV sterilizer, or both. At the time of recording, the base 600 GPD model sells for around $336, while the 800 gallon per day version comes in at about $520. If you go for the fully loaded 800 gallon per day system with both remineralization and UV, you're looking at a total cost of roughly $780. As for ongoing costs, replacement filters come out to just 15 cents per gallon based on our calculations, which puts this system on the more affordable end of the spectrum when it comes to long-term maintenance. The new Aqua Efficiency Series is packed with features aimed at delivering fast, high-quality water filtration. You get a multi-stage RO system with sediment and carbon pre-filters, and of course, the reverse osmosis membrane, providing broad contaminant reduction. It also includes a built-in booster pump to speed up filtration and an optional UV for added protection against microorganisms. The alkaline remineralization filter adds calcium, magnesium, and other beneficial minerals back into your water, which helps improve both taste and pH balance. The system has a sleek, compact, tankless design that fits neatly under your sink. This one is aligned horizontally, so it appears to take up less space under the sink, which is a nice change from the tall, vertically oriented models on the market. Of course, it comes with a dedicated RO faucet, as well as filter life indicators, which will let you know when it's time for a change. And with a 2-to-1 pure to wastewater ratio, it's more efficient than many conventional tank-style systems. Altogether, it's a feature-rich, awesome-looking product, but as always, performance in the real world is what really counts. Let's start with what the new Aqua Efficiency Series does well, and first off, contaminant reduction was impressive. We tested the system with over 100 analytes before and after filtration, and it delivered strong performance across the board. Installation was also simple, even for someone with minimal DIY experience. And some small touches, like having filter replacement instructions printed on the inside of the filter cover, helped this one stand out. We also saw clear evidence that the alkaline remineralization filter works. Calcium, magnesium, and potassium levels increased significantly after filtration, along with a noticeable bump in pH, all signs that the remineralization filter is doing its job. And I'll talk about that in more detail when we get to the lab results in just a minute. Warranty coverage is another highlight I want to mention. New Aqua backs this system with a 3-year warranty, which is longer than the typical 1 to 2 year warranty I often see from other under-sink RO brands. Just make sure to register your product within 6 weeks of purchase to unlock the full warranty, otherwise you'll default to a 1-year limited version. The company also offers free shipping on orders over $40 and a 120-day money-back guarantee, so you've got a solid trial period to decide if the system's a good fit. And finally, we had an excellent experience with customer support, which I really want to highlight. When our testing detected coliform bacteria in the filtered water, a concern I'll dive into in just a minute, New Aqua's team responded with a fast and helpful solution. They sent a full sanitization guide, free replacement filters, and a new UV light at no cost to the homeowner. They didn't deflect or blame the customer, they solved the problem. That level of service speaks volumes, even if it's not currently part of our scoring system. Now, let's quickly talk about the drawbacks. First, and surprisingly, we saw no fluoride reduction post-filtration. That's highly unusual for a reverse osmosis system, which typically removes fluoride very effectively. It's possible that the RO membrane wasn't functioning properly, but based on the other results, I think it's more likely that the remineralization filter may have reintroduced fluoride into the water. We'd have to conduct further testing to confirm this hypothesis, but it's something to be aware of. Another downside is that the system isn't certified. At the time of recording, it doesn't have an NSF ANSI 58 certification for contaminant removal, nor does it have any certifications for design or material safety. That makes it harder to independently verify the company's performance claims. And finally, while the faucet and outer housing feel well made, we couldn't get a clear answer from customer service about the types of plastic used inside the system. There's no mention of materials on New Aqua's website, and when we asked directly, we were told they don't have that information available. Now let's get into the lab results in our performance testing, so let me give you a bit of background on the water situation. This New Aqua system was installed and tested in a home on treated well water. Before installation, a water test confirmed the well was contaminated with coliform bacteria, so the homeowner shocked the well and the home's plumbing system to disinfect them. They also installed a whole home treatment system, which includes 2 sediment filters, a water softener, and a UV purifier. So as usual, to assess performance, we used Simple Labs Tap Score lab testing service. We took 1 sample from the kitchen tap before filtration and another from the RO faucet after filtration. 3 contaminants were detected above conservative, human health-focused guidelines: arsenic, lead, and uranium. After filtration, the New Aqua system removed all detectable lead and uranium and reduced arsenic by 71%. Though at just 0.000054 ppm, this was below the lab's reporting limit at which they can confidently and accurately quantify it. It also eliminated copper, nitrate, phosphorus, and molybdenum, and achieved strong reductions for sulfate by 97% and silica and chloride by 93%. Importantly, sodium was reduced by 96% from an elevated 53.42 ppm due to the water softening process down to just 1.6 ppm. Iron and selenium were reduced by 84% and 82% respectively, and boron by 77%. Total dissolved solids dropped by 85%, which may seem like less than you'd expect from an RO, but this is due to solid remineralization. So after filtration, we saw major increases in calcium, magnesium, and potassium, all up thousands of %. Calcium was detected at 2.04 ppm, magnesium at 1.7 ppm, and potassium at 0.72 ppm. This makes sense because the incoming water had already been pre-softened and had very low concentrations of these minerals. These spikes compared to the softened water confirm the remineralization filter is doing its job, adding back beneficial minerals and increasing pH for better taste and balance. However, not everything went as expected. The filtered water initially tested positive for coliform bacteria. That's a serious concern, especially since the system includes a UV sterilizer. Now, I want to add some context about this bacteria detection because I don't think that the RO system itself was the root cause. At the time of installation, the well's water was still contaminated with coliform, and although the homeowner shocked the well and installed a point of entry UV disinfection system, the New Aqua system was installed but not yet in service. That means the shutoff valve leading to the RO may not have been flushed or disinfected during the sanitization process. So when the RO system was eventually turned on, bacteria could have entered the system that way. But still, the RO process should remove bacteria, so it doesn't make sense that if that were the case, it would be detected in a sample taken from the RO. Another and possibly more likely explanation is that the RO faucet became contaminated after installation. The homeowner had a habit of placing the faucet tip inside her water bottle to fill it up, which could have introduced bacteria directly to the spout. Once she stopped doing that and we fully sanitized the system, follow-up testing came back clean. Interestingly, it was due to this troubleshooting process that we discovered that the UV sterilizer wasn't working due to a sensor fault. New Aqua replaced the light and provided a full sanitization guide, but in hindsight, that UV issue may have been incidental and not the primary cause of the bacteria detection. We also detected several trace metals that weren't present in the unfiltered sample, including antimony, barium, manganese, nickel, strontium, and thallium. All were well below health guideline levels and likely came from the system itself, probably the remineralization media, which contains a blend of different substances. One surprising result was toluene, a petroleum compound that increased post-filtration. Carbon filters and RO membranes should remove it, so we suspect it leached from a component within the system itself, after these filter stages. And then there's fluoride, which was detected at the same concentration both pre and post filtration. That's pretty unusual for a reverse osmosis system, so my hypothesis is that one of the media in the remineralization filter is actually reintroducing fluoride back into the filtered water. But still, it's important to note that it was only detected at 0.004 ppm, well below the health guideline level of 0.8 ppm. So who is the new Aqua Efficiency series best suited for? If you're looking for a tankless, high-flow reverse osmosis system with UV sterilization and alkaline remineralization, and you're comfortable relying on independent testing rather than official certifications, this system is definitely worth considering. Based on our lab results, performance was pretty strong across the board, and I think it offers solid value for the price. Yes, it's not cheap, especially if you go for the fully upgraded version that comes in at over $700, but you're getting an efficient system that checks almost every box. Fast filtration, added minerals for taste and increased pH, UV protection, and a compact design that's easy to live with. I also want to reiterate the superb customer support they provided. When we ran into issues, the new Aqua team responded not only quickly, but also thoroughly, which isn't something we always have the pleasure of experiencing. That said, the system's lack of certifications is a real trade-off. If third-party validation is important to you, there are certified alternatives out there. For example, the WaterDrop G3 is NSF ANSI certified for performance and material safety. If you want to see how it compares, click or tap to watch our full review of the WaterDrop G3 next.